Violence involving ICE agents sparked protests in Eugene and across the nation. An update on the Cottage Grove shooting.
Lack of snow in Oregon impacting ski season. A weekend recap on Oregon sports and a big jump for the University of Oregon acrobatics and tumbling program. All that plus more on Oregon News.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us on a Monday. Welcome to the first Oregon News broadcast of 2026. I'm Saul Galvan.
And I'm AJ Lee.
We begin today with an update on the growing outrage across the nation in response to a shooting in Minneapolis on Saturday involving immigration and customs enforcement agents. 37-year-old Alex Preddy, an American intensive care nurse, was shot and killed while being detained by several ICE agents. Preddy was wrestled to the ground by multiple agents. Moments later, an officer opened fire and shot Preddy approximately 10 times. Witnesses nearby recorded the incident as it unfolded. We are going to show that video, and we do want to warn our viewers that it may be difficult to watch. Department of Homeland Security said, quote, that Preddy approached officers with a handgun, and when officers tried to disarm him, he, quote, violently resisted. This is one of several videos from the shooting that have gone viral online and sparked mass protests across major cities, including Chicago, New York, and Los Angeles. Preddy becomes the latest victim in a wave of deadly encounters with ICE agents this month. Just weeks ago, Renee Good, another Minneapolis native, was fatally shot after multiple ICE officers attempted to pull her out of her vehicle.
Hundreds of people lined up on 7th Avenue at Pearl Street on Sunday in front of the Eugene Federal Building to protest against ICE. The protest was planned by multiple activist organizations. People came with posters and chants in response to ICE activity around the nation. This comes after an unplanned rally the day before the protest against the death of Alex Preddy by federal agents in Minnesota.
Police are still investigating a homicide that occurred early Tuesday morning in the Cottage Grove at 1500 block of Highway 99. Authorities have identified 50-year-old Eusebio Pablo as the victim of the shooting. Cottage Grove Chief of Police Corey Chase says officers responded to a call at approximately 5:30 a.m. on Tuesday where they discovered Pablo with a gunshot wound and pronounced him dead at the scene. There have been no other details released about the police about what led to the incident or the person responsible. Cottage Grove police are asking anyone who have information about the shooting or the suspect to contact them at 541-942-9145.
The Eugene City Council selected Jenna Haruyama last week to be Eugene's next city manager after a national search gathered over 50 applicants for the position. Haruyama spent the previous 4 years as the city manager in Beaverton. In her time there, Haruyama facilitated the planning and building of more than 400 affordable housing units and worked to remodel the country's first ever federal and state-funded year-round shelter. Haruyama's start day has not been determined, but the City Council authorized Council President Greg Evans to lead contract negotiations with Haruyama, and conversations are currently ongoing. Councilor Evans confirmed interim city manager Matt Rodriguez will continue to serve before Haruyama starts, but will return to his role as assistant city manager when she begins her tenure.
Well, local businesses and construction around the University of Oregon campus is taking a toll on local businesses surrounding the project. Oregon News reporter Quinn Huber spoke with small business owners who have been affected by the new developments.
For many here in Eugene, construction is a normal sight. However, several businesses here on 13th and Alder claim the project happening behind me is negatively affecting their customer traffic.
Well, it feels like I work in a prison yard now because of the construction fencing surrounding our property. We lost parking and inevitably customers.
Parking right off the bat has been the biggest issue because, you know, I've said this a million times, I must say it again, but no parking means no customers means no revenue. And the fact that the parking was taken away so fast from us, literally overnight, was definitely a shock to the system. Not only does it impact traffic, customers coming in, but it also impacts our ability to run the business from a day-to-day.
Owners also say the site has made the area less inviting to passersby.
All the barriers have created a physical barrier that psychologically impacts anyone who's walking by.
And I just wanted to say too, it's like, we're not here trying to stop progress by any means because we understand that growing and changing the community is good for the community. And in fact, that's actually good for our businesses as well. The issue is, how do we survive 20 months? I mean, this is not a 3-month, 4-month, even 6-month project. This is 20 months if they're on time.
Reporting in Eugene, I'm Quinn Huber, Oregon News.
The plot of land where Espresso Roma stood was bought for $3.3 million by CRG, a real estate investment firm known for funding student housing projects. According to Lane County Assessment and Taxation Office, the same plot of land was valued at just $1 million last year. The new building on 13th Avenue is Chapter Alder. It will stand 15 stories tall with 133 housing units. Construction is set to finish ahead of the 2027-2028 school year. Speaking of construction finishing up, Springfield's Main Street Bridge has reopened. After closing the 96-year-old bridge for maintenance on January 5th, the Oregon Department of Transportation has replaced the surface and joints of the bridge, as well as repaving and adding a bike ramp at the east approach. During the closure, the street bridge was used for both directions of traffic, pushing it just one lane each direction, as well as a temporary change to the roundabouts on the west side. The $4.2 million project wrapped up in just under 3 weeks, restoring the flow of traffic this past weekend.
Well, budget cuts and staff layoffs continue for both Springfield and Eugene school districts. In Springfield, 36 full-time staff members are expected to be cut by January 31st. This is the latest move after the school board members approved the cuts in order to combat a $2.3 million budget shortage. The district will reassign teachers to different schools after the layoffs at the end of the month. In Eugene, the 4J school district enters the third and final stage of budget cuts. According to Superintendent Miriam Mickelson, the 4J district still has $9.8 million worth of cuts to make before next year's school board is set to meet on February 4th to decide what exact cuts will be made and how. The move comes on top of already 269 full-time positions being laid off on July 1st. Further updates on these cuts can be found on the district website. While a lot of the country is seeing record snowfall, Oregon mountains are seeing an all-time low. We have more coming up next.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Okay, Dad, look at you.
Yeah, welcome. Hi.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Finding it difficult to work with numbers may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Dad, are you okay?
An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age, some others don't.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused.
A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out that self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and your mental health.
Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
1 person was killed and 15 were injured in Ukraine after a missile attack Saturday morning. The attacks were aimed at the power grids in Ukraine's 2 largest cities, Kyiv and Kharkiv. According to reports from Ukraine, over 800,000 households are currently without electricity and heating. The attacks come during peace talks between Ukraine, Russia, and the U.S. Tripartite talks between the 3 countries have been centered around Ukraine's safety from Russia. Negotiations continued through Saturday following the attacks with no major breakthroughs. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky mentioned future talks as early as next week. Air defense support from the U.S. is something officials from both nations have discussed at these meetings, but as of now, no additional air support is being provided.
Air defense in the Arctic has been a key point of President Trump's second term. On his way back from the World Economic Forum meeting in Davos, Switzerland, Trump commented on NATO's involvement in his pursuit for Greenland.
We're all going to work together, and actually NATO is going to be involved with us. So the cost of the Golden Dome, we'll have participation in that also, meaning with the expense of it.
President Trump has remained confident that the U.S. and NATO will work together to settle Greenland's future. He also believes NATO will help pay for the construction of the Golden Dome, a military project aiming to build a missile defense system in Greenland. NATO's next summit is set for July of this year in Turkey, where Greenland security will remain a discussion.
On Thursday, the United States formally withdrew from the World Health Organization. This comes after an executive order that President Trump issued on his first day of office back in January 2025. Without the World Health Organization, the United States will lead global health efforts alone and also no longer participate in the global influenza surveillance and response system, a program that monitors flu cases and develops yearly flu vaccines. Global health experts are deeply concerned in the event of a national health emergency similar to the coronavirus. They say that the lack of international coordination will lead to disaster and maybe even death. The United States says that they will now work with faith-based groups and other non-governmental organizations to track unknown viruses.
Around 55% of Americans are under winter weather alert as heavy snow and ice impacts much of the country. 190 million people from Texas to Maine are under storm watch, as the National Weather Service has warned of sub-zero temperatures and wind chills. At least 9 people have died and power outages continue to climb. More than 84,000 power outages are reported. Majority of those outages are from Louisiana, where more than 50,000 customers are without power. 10,000 flights have been canceled across the country, leaving many people to sleep in the airport. The storm is not expected to leave the country until later tonight, and cold temperatures are set to continue further into the week.
Well, it's been a slow snow season, and it's had a negative impact at the Willamette Pass this winter. Oregon News reporter Gabrielle Vigil has the update from the slopes.
It may look like a perfect winter day here at Willamette Pass, but the numbers tell a different story. Snowfall this season has been well below average, with just 36 inches recorded so far. Despite the lack of snow, Willamette Pass is still operating. On average, the mountain receives about 146 inches of snow each year. Willamette Pass features 30 trails and 6 lifts. So far this season, only 7 trails and 3 lifts are open. While conditions aren't ideal for winter sports, visitors are still coming out to show their support.
Normally a lot of snow and powdering, and now it's a kind of ice, but we like to support them, I want them to have some business. Feel pretty bad for that.
Willamette Pass offers additional parking on the south side of the highway, but right now the main lot is only about a quarter full. Even with fewer people on the mountain, those who do come say they're here for the community.
There's not a whole lot going on here. It's 11 inches base, so there's rocks sticking up and all the little trees sticking up. I knew we were just going to be farting around in the base area, but it's just about having fun with your friends.
And visitors are holding out hope for more snow as the season continues.
I'm hoping for so much snow that I'm not even able to go to work. I'm hoping that there's so much snow I can walk out of my house up the mountain and just be able to ski down it.
For the latest information on open lifts and trails, visit Willamette Pass's website. Reporting for Oregon News, I'm Gabriella Vigil.
Mountain snowfall might be low right now, but weather anchor McKenna Rowland has an update for us of the Cascades. Might hopefully see some more snow coming up next.
Losing the fear of looking foolish comes with age.
Who did you steal him from?
Losing your way in your own home doesn't. Confusion with time and place may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Mom, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
There's nothing like celebrating a big play. But now, we're celebrating something bigger than sports.
Love, you're mine.
Love?
You're mine.
You're training your mind as much as you're training your body.
For me, just stay grounded. Be with the people who make my mental health better and not worse.
So when you see us hit this, it's a reminder to
love. You're mine.
Welcome back to Oregon News. I'm McKenna Rowland here to break down the Willamette Valley weather to start off your Monday morning. 3 things to note heading into the week. We've got another chilly stretch of mornings, but thankfully not as cold as last week. These low temperatures will stay generally in the 30s and 40s range. However, I would still be aware of potential frost and would definitely advise you to leave some extra time in the morning for your morning commute. It's still certainly going to be sweater weather if you're walking your way onto campus this week, as we've also got the cloudy conditions coming back after a pretty sunny weekend. But these clouds aren't coming alone. Grab that umbrella back out and be prepared to see some rainfall. Just not if you're at Willamette Pass, but we'll dive more into that later. Starting off with Eugene's 7-day forecast, today's high is going to be 53 degrees, which is likely where it will hover around until the end of this week. There's still going to be some sunshine today, but not for too long, as clouds will begin to creep back in starting tomorrow evening. On the other hand, the low today will be 31 degrees, which should be the coldest point of this 7-day span, with Thursday's low reaching 44 degrees as scattered showers start to pour in to kick off the weekend and are anticipated to stay all the way until Sunday. As we take a look across the whole region, we can expect to see some warmer winter weather, with the average highs reaching low 50s near Coos Bay, getting slightly cooler as we head towards Roseburg. Now, these coastal areas are going to be accompanied by some slight 20 to miles per hour winds, but these gusts should taper off by the middle of the week. However, as we travel back up north towards Corvallis, the average high is only expected to reach 43 degrees, with Bend peaking as low as 38 degrees. Now, the average lows are on the rise since last week. We are no longer seeing widespread 20s, but instead finally feeling some relief from the previous winter weather advisories. Coos Bay is still staying on the warmer side with an average low of 41 degrees, while Corvallis, Eugene, and Roseburg are pretty steady there in the mid-30s. That said, low temperatures still persist in Bend with the average low at 25 degrees. Moderate winds could sneak in from Central Oregon, but those gusts should stay confined to early in the week. And finally, we've got a snow status update for those of you planning to dust off your skis and snowboards this winter. Unfortunately, it's been another weekend of no overnight precipitation, but don't worry. Despite some afternoon sunshine, firm morning conditions and cold temperatures are still expected to keep Willamette Pass open and allow visitors to have snow, much fun on the slopes this season. But just because Oregon isn't getting any snow doesn't mean that this is the case for the rest of the country. A major winter storm is impacting nearly 2/3 of Americans, with significant ice and snow stretching all the way from Texas to New England. Even as the storm eases in some areas, cold conditions could stick around for the next few days. But thankfully, the last couple of snowflakes should hit the northeast soon, as the storm is expected to subside overnight heading into tomorrow morning. And that's the latest on the weather. Coming up next on Oregon News, our sports anchor Ashley Davidson will give us a look on what's going today on in sports. Stay tuned after the break.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Okay, Dad, look at you.
Yeah, welcome. Hi.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Finding it difficult to work with numbers may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Dad, are you okay?
An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age, some others don't.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Oregon News. I'm Ashley Davidson, bringing you today's sports. Starting out with acrobatics and tumbling, this team has a rich history at the University of Oregon. This past week, the NCAA held a divisional vote officially approving the sport for championship status, meaning the NCAA will officially regulate team tournaments and championship events. Oregon News reporter Shay Barnes, a member of the team, gives us more on the story.
In 2010, the University of Oregon, along with 5 other schools, founded their inaugural acrobatics and tumbling team. 16 years later, the sport has officially been approved for championship status as an NCAA sport. Paving the way for young female athletes all over the country, head coach Taylor Susnara has been crucial in the sport's development as an athlete and as a coach.
Growing with this sport has been so unique and so special, and you know, when I first came into Oregon as a freshman, there were maybe 10 to 14 schools total, and so now that we have 60 plus institutions sponsoring it, we have close to 50 competing this year, and then hitting emerging sports status in 2020, and now officially having that championship status within the NCAA just creates a lot of pride.
You might be wondering why the reporter is practicing with the team. That's because I got to celebrate the January 16th milestone alongside my teammates, coaching staff, and support staff. I was first introduced to the sport before it was even granted emerging sports status, and now I get to experience being a part of history as one of many acrobatics and tumbling athletes across the nation. The NCAA's Emerging Sports for Women program is an initiative aimed at increasing collegiate scholarship opportunities for female athletes. Blessed McMorris, a 5th-year senior, began the sport just 1 year after it had been approved for the status.
I think that acrobatics and tumbling plays a huge role in expanding opportunities for women's sports and college athletics, just because this is one of the first sports made for women by women that has started at the college level.
The milestone accomplished this past week is just the beginning for the future of acrobatics and tumbling. If you want to watch history in the making, my team's home opener is on Saturday, February 21st at Matthew Knight Arena. For Oregon News, this is Shay Barnes.
Thank you, Shay. On to the hardwood of Alaska Airlines Arena, the Oregon men's basketball team faced rivals the Washington Huskies, where both teams were looking to end their losing streaks. Rivalry night in Seattle did not go as planned for the Ducks. Oregon fell to the Washington Huskies 72-57, dropping their 6th straight game as they were outshot and outworked on the glass. The Huskies end their 3-game losing streak by dominating the boards by 22 and using an early run to take control. With 15 points, Sean Stewart led Oregon in this game, but the Ducks just couldn't rally. And with this 57-42 loss for Oregon, it's back to Eugene now, looking for momentum at home when the team hosts UCLA on Wednesday. Tip-off for that game is set for 8 p.m. Now, speaking of Matthew Knight Arena, Oregon women's basketball faced off in a home game against Penn State on Saturday. Let's take a look at the highlights from the game. Saturday afternoon at Matthew Knight Arena, where Oregon women's basketball looks to hold Penn State to 0 conference wins. Things started out slow on the court, especially for the Ducks. Nyla McFadden puts it up for 3 to start the Nittany Lions out strong. Then just after, Katie Fiso attempts to pass to Sophia Bell. She goes down, and Shaylin Steele steals it and takes it to the basket for 2. With the Lady Lions leading, Oregon fights back. Katie Fiso charges to the basket and puts it up for 2 for the Ducks, putting them on the board. Now, this was a game where 23 was the number of the game. After some back and forth action, some great shots from their teammates, number 23 on both sides of the ball led their teams in the points. Kiyomi Miller, top of the key, drives to the basket and puts it up for 2. Miller added 15 points in this game. Then for the Ducks, Sarah Rambis missed 23, takes the pass from Ari Long, dodges defenders, takes it at the free throw line, and adds 2 on the board for the Ducks. She had 20 points in this game. And when all was said and done, just the work of Kiyomi Miller was not going to be enough for Penn State as the Ducks take the win over the Nittany Lions 89-59. Oregon will go on to face Rutgers on the road on Wednesday. Taking a look at a different kind of court, Oregon men's tennis split the weekend at the ITA kickoff in Palo Alto. The Ducks dropped a tight 4-3 battle to Rice on Friday, with the match decided in the final singles court. Oregon then bounced back on Saturday, sweeping Utah 4-0 behind dominant doubles play and straight set singles wins. And back at home, the Oregon women's tennis team takes the court, feeding off the home crowd and looking to keep their perfect home record intact. Oregon won 2 of their 3 doubles matches, then swept singles to close out a strong 4-0 win over Idaho, and the start of the day with a lot of confidence. In the second match of the doubleheader, the Ducks stayed hot with a 4-0 win over New Mexico State, keeping the momentum going in front of the home crowd. Oregon finished the day 2-0 and moved to 3-0 on the start of the spring season, showing a lot of confidence heading into their next matches. And now taking a look nationally, one of the biggest weekends in football took place in both Denver and Seattle for the AFC and NFC championship games. In a snowy AFC title game, the Patriots defeated the Broncos 10-7 to earn a trip to the Super Bowl. Second-year quarterback Drake May scored a lone touchdown and helped ice that win as the New England Patriots returned to football's biggest stage. Not to mention former Oregon Duck Christian Gonzalez caught the interception that sealed the deal for the Patriots in the final minutes. In the NFC Championship game, the Seattle Seahawks punched their ticket to Super Bowl 60 with a 31-27 win over the Rams. Quarterback Sam Darnold threw 3 touchdowns, and Seattle's defense delivered late to close out the win and send the Seahawks to the Super Bowl. And with that, the Patriots will face the Seahawks at Levi Stadium for Super Bowl 60, kicking off February 8th at 3:30 p.m., and it should be a good game, you guys.
In Eugene, the 4-day festival features local vendors, live music, and plenty of chowder. Coming up next.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Okay, Dad, look at you.
Yeah, welcome. Hi.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Finding it difficult to work with numbers may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Dad, are you okay?
An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age, some others don't.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused.
A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out that self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and your mental health.
Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
The Beer Garden in Eugene partnered up with Fort George Brewing Company to host their annual Brews, Blues, and Chowder Fest, serving up a wide variety of chowder from local vendors and live blues music.
This is our second year doing the Chowder Fest, so we did it last year with the same chowder, so I feel like the chowder has improved with the second year, you know.
5 food trucks from around the area created their own chowder and seafood specials, giving vendors the freedom to showcase their unique styles and flavors. The festival ran for 4 days, starting Thursday and wrapping up Sunday, with events happening throughout the day. For local food trucks owner Kelly Knutson of Cosmic's Charlie's Cheese Shack, the festival was a big success.
We sold out the first night, which was Thursday, And last night we sold out as well. Right at the last night, we sold the last bowl at like 9:30, closed at 10.
The creativity didn't stop in the kitchen. Customers joined in on the fun with the raffle. Each time they tried a special, they received a raffle ticket for a chance to win prizes each night of the event. Guests also enjoyed live blues music from the bands and artists including JB and the Notar while sipping Fort George Brewing beers. This year's tap list features Fort George Brewing selections including collaborations with 22 other breweries, all while guests soaked in the festival atmosphere.
That's got to be fun. It's a little bit of warm weather. You sip on a chowder, a little brew as well. That's got to be a lot of fun, especially with all this cold weather going on. That's going to do it for all of us here at Oregon News. Hope you enjoy your Monday, and we'll see you next week.